Hello people. Well, yesterday was an exciting day and a little bit frustrating also. This is a short intro to what happened. It was really bad weather yesterday, cold and a bit snow, and first I thought that I'm not gonna start up the engine today because I have to do it outside. And I don't want to stand still for 1 to 2 hours if it's very cold and just waiting for the car. But a bit later on the day, I thought the weather was a bit better and a bit warmer. So I decided to go down to my father's mother's house and do the break-in the garage there. So I went down and believe I did everything as good as I can. Remember, this is my very first NITRO engine. So what I'm showing you is absolute beginner's learning curve, or what to say about it. So the weather was not good, but I did warm up the engine, but I couldn't get it to more than about, was it 40-50 degrees Celsius with the engine heater. It was about 2 degrees outside. And everything looked good, and I was ready to start up the engine, and I wanted to get some fuel into the carb and engine here. But I just couldn't get the fuel into the carb and engine. Very strange. I did pull off the tube here at the exhaust and also at the high-speed needle, and I did blow into the tube here, and I saw the fuel coming out. You can see that in video. The fuel comes out. So it's all is good here in all the tubing and in the tank. So something was that blocked it here. The only thing I can believe it maybe is when I got this car and I did look over it, I just tried to adjust the needle a bit, and I noticed that the high-speed needle was very, very hard to turn around. The idle screw and the low-speed needle was all right, but the high-speed needle is very, very tight. So I'm not sure what did fix the problem in the end. I tried a lot down there, but I just couldn't get the fuel in. But then I tried to unscrew this needle complete, all the way out, and then in again. And sometime after that, just suddenly the fuel did enter the carb and also in the engine. You can see that in the video. I did remove the glow plug and pull the pull starter, and suddenly you see something comes up the hole here. And that was fuel. And that, then of course I had a lot too much fuel inside the engine, so I had to let something out again, just turn the car upside down. So again, I'm not sure really what was the problem, but I believe it was something here with a high-speed needle. Maybe something had just got locked inside here. I'm not sure what. So then I got the car up and running, and I set the idle gap to 1 millimeter. The little opening you have here in the car. So the car was running, and after some time I thought maybe the idle speed RPM was a bit too high, so I tried to lower the idle gap here, lower the idle. And you can see in the video how I tried to adjust a little bit and get the car to run okay on low idle. And it was a lot of exhaust and oil coming out, so I believe it was running very rich. I also noticed when I tried to give some more throttle, the car would typically stop. And as I understand, that's because of the car is set up very rich now for the break-in. So you have to lean it out some, both on the high speed and maybe also on the low speed. But this day I will also set the idle gap to 0.5 millimeters, as some people on the YouTube suggest. And also I will mark on this oil gap screw where that point is, because when you start to tune and screw these screws, it's very easy to forget what you've done, and you don't remember where you started. So if you mark one point there for where the 0.5 gap is, and maybe also a point for where the 1 millimeter gap is, you have something to look at, and you can maybe more easy understand if you're way too low or way too high, as I mean it is too close or too open or that sort of things. So I will mark off 0.5 millimeters and 1.0 millimeters on this oil gap screw today. Because I only did run 3 tanks yesterday, I didn't have time to do any more. So today I will run 2 more tanks on idle and try to get a good idle today. Maybe it was a bit high yesterday. Also, I have on this flywheel here, if you can see it down there, I've set the black marker there, and also on the engine, the lowest black marker there, if you can see it there. That's just when these two align, that's when the piston is at the bottom end. Of course, you can just take out the glow plug, look down and see when the piston is down, but you also feel it. But it's good to have. And what did happen a few times yesterday was that when I was braking in the engine and it stopped, sometimes the flywheel would get caught, it would get stuck here very hard. And the flywheel moves this way, and so it typically will get stuck here somewhere, and I couldn't turn it back with my fingers. So what I did, I used this screwdriver bigger than this one, and just put it on the side here of the flywheel. I did it very carefully, hit it with a hammer or something. So that's, I believe, is a good tools to have with you, because when its flywheels get stuck and a motor starts to cool down, it could be almost impossible to get it free with just moving your hands. So a screwdriver and something to hit it with. Don't need to be hammer or anything. Don't use much force. It's just small hitting, and it will release. But I must say also that so it was a bit mixed the whole yesterday, and I also had not much time on me, so that was also a bit stressing. But when it first started up, when I got fuel into the carbon engine and it started up, that is really a good experience, I must say. You really feel that the fuel engine is something that is alive. You know, the electric engine, it's just connect the battery and start, and it starts. With this fuel engine, there's so much mechanical parts, and you understand how the fuel is going through the system. Well, maybe I'm not really do that because I couldn't find out why it was blocked there, but I of course understand that the fuel goes in here and into the carbon, yes, down into the cylinder. But you get the engine to start, you hear the noise, you hear the heat. It also heat in this, you feel the heat in the engine, and of course the smoke and smell. So it's really like something, a living animal or something. I'm not sure what to call it. And you tune it to get the right sound. It's very much about the sound, and how you see also the smoke, and you can measure the temperature. But it's very, very much the sound. You're just hearing the sound. I don't have the experience. I don't know what's really the good RPM for idle and the sound. So that's something I got to learn. you just watch YouTube videos of other people doing the same, and so you can learn. And well, I believe that's all for this intro. I was checking the list that I know now that has talked about everything. So in this video, and I believe this is also going to be a bit long video, you're going to see the very first startup of this engine and a problem I had. And as I said before, this video is to show her how a person's very first experience with a NITRO engine can turn out. And it can be a bit frustrating, but when you get it to start, it's a lot of fun, really. And today I'm gonna break in 2 more tanks on this car. This tank is 0.1125 liter. I know the car with the .30 engine, bigger engine, has a 1.2 tank. So I'm gonna drive this car with this tank in the start, but later maybe I'm gonna buy the 0.2 tank just to have more fuel in the car, if that fits. But it should fit because the cars are exactly the same. It's just the engine in the other car that's a bit bigger and the tank is a bit bigger. So I believe the tank must fit, but that I can check later. Alright, that was also a bit too long intro. So have fun with this video and see a totally first beginner try to start up this engine. Hello! Well, now I'm ready to break in this engine. The weather was not good today. It's about 2-3 degrees and it came a little snow out also, as you can see here. But I'm in the garage to my father and I bought with me everything I need. I hope. I got the fuel, I got the battery for the heater here, I got the tools, I got the transmitter, I got the heat measure, I got the glow ignitioner, and the glow plug is in the car. I also get some wet tissues to clean up if it's needed, and I got some after run oil. So now I'm gonna heat up the engine with the engine heater. That takes about 10 to 15 minutes. And I will measure the heat and see if it gets up to 60 degrees. And that's good enough today, I hope. Then I'm gonna pour some fuel into this tank and I'm gonna prime the engine. I then will take out the glow plug and prime the engine to see if I get fuel into the carb. You can also see the tank line here. Now, every nails are set up as they say, and yes, just gonna see how it goes. Of course, also I have the receiver battery in the car now, so I will be back when I'm heating up the engine. I also, of course, took with me the fuel bottle. Now I'm heating the engine here. The temperature outside, you can take here. You can see it's only about 6 degrees outside. The heat now in the engine is 32.8 degrees. So I keep heating the engine. It's also a bit smoke here today. I'm not sure why, but I'm just keep heating the engine now. The only thing I forgot to take with me is air protection. I'm not sure how low this NITRO cars are, so as I said before, this is my very first NITRO car. So it's a bit exciting to see if we can get it to run. I believe, of course, that we should get it to run. I'm also wondering how long it takes to empty one tank on near idle. I calculated about 2 hours for 3, 4, 5 tanks today. You just have to see. So still waiting for the heating. The heater has been on for 10 minutes now. And just let's read the temperature. 44 degrees. So now outside it's about 2-3 degrees Celsius, and the heater 10 minutes got it about 45 degrees. So I just press the button again so it can start a new cycle. I wait 5 more minutes, I believe, to see if we could get it up to at least 50 degrees Celsius before I try to start the engine. Well, it's getting up to 50 degrees Celsius. I believe that's good enough for this day. It's very cold outside, about 2 degrees out. It's showing 3.5 now, but it's really a bit colder. 3.5. So now I'm gonna take off the heater. Gonna tighten the glow plug. No, I'm gonna take off the heater. I'm gonna remove the glow plug. I'm gonna pour in some fuel. Then I'm gonna prime the engine and hold the cloth here where the glow plug hole is to see that it's get fuel on it when I prime it. Then I know it's fuel inside the carb and inside the car. So let's start with that. Stop here. Now that's off. Fuel into the tank. Not exactly, no. Let's say that's good enough. Take off this. Remove the glow plug. Like that. I also have this here. I try use that around the engine to keep it a bit warmer. Like so. Then we just prime the engine. Let's see. Nothing yet. Nothing yet. I don't see there's coming fuel into the engine. What could that be? Let's see. Everything look close there. You know, if it's leakage somewhere, you could maybe not get fuel into the engine. I also don't see anything here. Maybe it's because the air is coming out. Maybe it's because the air is coming out the glow plug. Let's try to put it in again. Yeah, let's try now. Oh, much tighter now. Let's see if the... So I adjusted the flywheel so the piston is at bottom. Oh, very hard to prime the engine. Maybe I should release the glow plug a little. Like so. Let's see. Yeah, that's better. Can't see any fuel. It should be okay. Tighten the glow plug again. Alright, one other option to get fuel into the engine is to blow. Take off this and blow into the here. I don't see fuel coming in. Okay, we have to test. Yes, fuel is getting through. I just tested that the fuel is indeed coming through. That looks okay. Could it be that I'm not starting up the electronics? I'm not sure. The carb should not be closed now. But let's just start it up, the electronics there. Okay. Now the carb should be open. Let's try again. It looks like I'm not getting anything through. Is the very strange. It's like the fuel not coming into the carb. Why could that be? What if I open a carb a bit more? Let's see. Still nothing. Could it be? Could it be one of the needles? Because it's not the idle, because now I pushed the throttle and the idle did open. Could it be the low spill needle? It looks okay, but I could try to reach it a little bit, like a half. I mean a quarter. 50 minutes. I also reach the high spill needle a bit. Let's open it a bit more. Okay, that was a half. Let's see now if it's possible to get fuel through. nothing. No, it looks the carb is completely closed. Not getting fuel into the carb at all. Could it be one of the needles that maybe are stuck or something? I remember when I first got the car, I checked the needles, and this high-speed needle was very hard to move. Could it be that it's stuck or something and not letting anything in? Let me check the needles. But now the engine heat is going down, you know. So let's see what they say about the mid-range needles. Mid-range flush, that's alright. That's very flush. And top and needle high speed should be 2.5 turn out. Oh, yeah. Two and a half turn out from where? Half turn out from flush. Yeah. Cool. Wow. Det var helt tätt da. No. No, this is not working. I'm not getting fuel into the carb. It's like the carb is totally blocking. I've even opened the needle here, high-speed needle, way too much. And the mid-speed needle is okay, and the low-speed needle is okay. I'm not sure why I'm not getting fuel into the carb. I took off this and blow, and then you got fluid through. So the fuel is coming through here, but it's not going inside the carb. See, the fuel comes through the tank. What? What? That looks like fuel. Let's see. Oh yeah, now we have fuel. I don't know why. Hard. Yeah. Yeah, hard. Cool. Cool and hard. Yeah. Well, I got fuel at the end through the carb and into the engine. You just saw it when I pulled the starter here, and I guess it was some fuel that's just coming up from a glow plug hole. But it was very strange. I'm not sure why I had so hard time to get fuel into the carb. I don't really know, but now it looks like it's okay. I did open the high-speed needle 1/2, so a little more richening, but I'm not sure if that's the case, what it really was here. But now I have to heat the engine again, because the engine was now down to low temperature again. So I wanted at least up to 40 degrees before I tried to start it. But now I'm getting less time here, but I want to see if we can start the engine at least one time here. Back again, and now we're gonna see if we can get this engine to start. It's up to 48 degrees now, almost 50 degrees. So now I believe we got fuel inside the carb and the engine. So now I remove the heater. I pull the starter a few times with this on, just to see that we have fuel inside here. And then we install the glow plug and try to start up the engine, also the start electronics. So off with this one. Away with this one. Out with the glow plug. Oh. Yes, it's very much fuel inside now. Oh. That's enough fuel, I hope. Okay, let's set it bottom down like that. Install the glow plug. So turn on the electronics just to be safe. Just to wipe away some of the fuel that got out there. A bit messy. Alright, the electronics is working. The glow plug is off. Now we just need a ignition here. What am I waiting for? Just got the feeling that I forgot something. It's the first time I'm starting this engine. Alright, let's just try it. Shouldn't it sit? There we have it. I just let it glow for a bit. And this is the first go. Oh no, it wouldn't go any longer. It's alive! It's running very rich. You can see the smoke. I did lean out the low speed a little bit because I thinking it's running very rich. That was the first tank, and let's now set it at bottom. Well, that was the first tank, and now I set the piston at the bottom, so when the motor cools down a bit, it should not stick up in the cylinder. The HoBao manual says that you should let it dry, and I go out like this and let it cool down for 5 minutes, then start a new tank. I had some problems how to start it, but when you first got fuel inside the carbon engine, it was not that hard to get started. And I used some throttle, not much, but a little bit to get the motor up to heat, so I could remove the glow igniter. 5 minutes, they say. Right. Now I'm gonna take this and use it around the cooler, so that it will not get that very cold now, since we have almost 0 degrees. Like that. What's the temperature now? 55. I don't believe I will allow it to go below 50 degrees. So I'm getting ready to start it up again. Also, the temperature was for a short period around 100 degrees. That's not critical, but that's why I did try to get the idle down a bit. It was maybe a bit high idle. I must really say it's a wonderful smell of this, this exhaust. That was something of the first I thought about when the engine started up, and I noticed the smoke and everything. It was a wonderful smell. Also, it was not that very clever done of me to set up the seat here on the exhaust side, so I moved every stuff to the other side now. Whew. $47, 49, so it's about 50 now. So should we try to start it again? Fill up the tank. So now I hope it will be a bit easier to start. $47, $44, $44. So let's turn on the electronics again. And we're ready to start up again. Let it sit a bit so it's glowing up. And we're ready. Oh.
Maybe a bit high idle. I feel like it may be a bit high idle. I'm not sure. I'm watching the temperature. As long as it's below 110 degrees, it's okay. So I'm not afraid of this. Just keep watching the temperature. Did tune down the idle a bit. Just let me see if it keeps running on this. All right, I believe it's doing well now. We get nice smoke here. I believe so. We are driving it rich now. Maybe the idle is a bit high still, but I turned the idle a bit down. And the temperature is now about 88 degrees. 90. So it's lying about 90 degrees, running good on idle here. This is tank number 2. I'm not giving full throttle, of course. It was just enough to get the the wheels spinning. So I think I'm gonna stop this video recording now. I'm gonna fulfill this tank here and maybe one tank more. But I cannot drive it today. So I'm just gonna one more tank, and another day I'm gonna take tank number 4 and 5 and drive it also. It's very hard to say if the needles are set up good now, because when when it's the first engine and you start to tune the needles, you lose the control of how much you tune. Is it too much or too little? But I believe you have to look at the smoke. You should always see some smoke, and so it's running rich, and just listen to the sound. I think this idle sound is okay, maybe a bit high, but I'm watching the temperature and it's lying around 90 degrees, so it's not that bad. Let's try again. Yes, 88 degrees. So you see the temperature is not getting too high. It's running about 90 degrees. It could maybe be a little bit higher. We can try to drop the idle a bit to see if it's keep running at idle or if it shuts down. Oh, that was way too low.